How you doing, Aqua? Good Celtic cross for you. King of Swords. You're being detail orientated. You are at the height of your energy. Analytical. Oh. Focused. But what crosses you? The unknown. Feel like something's unknown to you and secrets are being kept, or you're unsure what to expect in the future. Your foundation is a new beginning, a new tangible beginning. You could be starting a new job and you're unsure. You could be starting a new business and you are unsure of what is in store for you, if it will be successful. An Ace of Coins is like a beginning. It's not like winning the lottery, but it's like a beginning that will grow into, that has the potential of growing into something really large. It's using gifts that you were given like by the divine, and it's an opportunity and potential to start off for something that can expand into generational wealth, but you're unsure if it will pan out for you. The past is conflict, fighting, gaslighting, competition, gossiping. I feel gossiping. You know, people who are very argumentative and critical and judgmental, perhaps gossiping about you. And you feel like the same amount of high drama, high conflict people are kind of like, not only are they talking bad behind your back, but they're kind of talking about your situation now as a whole. Kind of gossiping about you, of like, and it's the same kind of people that are even like collectively together gossiping about you. You feel like you've had to stand up for yourself and to finally speak your view and your thoughts and your feelings on things, and they see you as argumentative and judgmental and like a bitch now, like basically, you know, because now you don't want to continue to play a role that they set out for you. What is going on, your goals and your conscious awareness, the best that can be accomplished at present is the Six of Coins in reverse. You're not giving to this. You're not giving out any more charity. You feel like you've given enough of your time, energy, possibly even favors or tangible, like loans, money, you know, like, I feel like these are like energy vampires and they took a lot from you, and you no longer want to give to this because, like, even no matter how much you gave to these people, they just took and took and took, and they still talk shit behind your back, you know? It's like a jealousy, and it's like an entitlement on their part. And you're making necessary cuts because whatever confuses you or that you feel that is going on behind your back, or unknown factors, people that put you in the dark, you're cutting them out. You are going through your inventory with like a fine-tooth comb, seeing what you need and what you don't need, being resourceful in what you have, and just paying attention to the detail to what you need, because you don't want to focus on the things that you don't know. You want to focus on what you have control over and what is productive for you overall, right? Because, listen, you know, Aquarius, like, you know, You're smart people. You know that. And you're very logical people. And, you know, I have an Aquarius moon in tropical astrology and a Capricorn in Vedic. So, you know, I'm all about like logical, so much so that it can be in your head a lot. It can be this ADHD factor. It can be like having trouble processing emotions, how you feel about things, and like having trouble voicing your thoughts and appropriately connecting it with emotions. That's why that you kind of hold on to it, because it takes you a while to figure it out. It takes, at least it is for me. And people would see me as cold and like but I'm not cold. I'm just trying to process like how I feel about things and what I feel about things. And you know, it changes depending on what information that shows up. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I loved and married somebody, but he turned out to be a serial killer and killed a bunch of people. I know that's dramatic, but it's like I don't think I'm going to stay like in love with a person, you know? I'm going to like look at it logically. It's like, wow, he had a whole hidden life behind my back. Like whatever he showed me is not who he is, and I'm going to remove myself. Although, you know, like we're affected by emotions, we could actually over time be able to think more logically, or think more, or even so much focus on the logical part of it or what needs to be done that, you know, sometimes we can close off to it. And that's a practice too, because then we have to figure out, you do that all your life, and you have to figure out, how do I feel about this? So it takes a while. But, you know, when you get into the older aspect and you focus more on the things that you need to do, and you start to realize like how much high conflict people in your life, like they waste your time and they take up so much of your mental thought and energy, because constantly thinking is like, it takes up a lot of energy, and you want to be doing it on something productive, not on BS, not on people who wants to disturb your peace, right? And this is something that you figured out. You're like, I'm done. Like, I don't want all this bullshit drama. You want to hide shit from me. You want to talk behind my back. You want to keep secrets, cool. But you're not going to be around me. You know, you're going to make cuts. You're like, screw this. I'm going to make cuts. Who do you think you are? You know, who do you think you are? I'm not giving to this anymore. Like, I'm not giving to it. I'm good. I'm done. You know, like I gave it to the past, and perhaps even in the past, like I gave with an expectation that I would give back, but perhaps that's not exactly the right way to give either. But, you know, you gave out of some kind of love as well. And you gave out of some kind of understanding that, like, you know, or some kind of expectation, but that if I did for them, that they would do for me, because you're all about humanity. You're all about helping, but you expect that same kind of respect in return. But, you know, maybe that's something to consider too, about how much that you give, right? Like, you would only give if you have no expectations in return. And because every time you kind of did that, every time I did that, I know I got screwed over, you know? And not only did I expect, like, hey, if I give you this, I want that. It's like, hey, if I give you this, maybe one day, if I'm ever in a bind, you could help me out too. But then those days would come and go, and then they would never offer to help, but then they would still expect shit. And then they would get mad and talk crap when you don't want to comply, you know, and just take things at cost. You're like, nah, dude, I'm good. My foundation is, I'm going to focus on, you know, what makes me abundant, my God-given gifts, and what I could use it to create stability within myself. And I'm going to be more careful of who comes into my space. Page of Swords. Page of Swords is usually pages are messengers, but the Page of Swords is also like the scout that goes out before the platoon, right? He scopes out the land. He looks at the terrain. He goes unobserved into enemy lines and tries to get as much intel as possible. And he's very skilled and detailed orientated. He looks at everything and he comes back and reports and, like his findings. And, to be able to assess the safety of him and his platoon, of his other group. And this is what you're doing now for yourself in the future. You are being more secure. You're being more protective over your space and who comes around. And I feel like your intuition has been heightened now that you've gotten this past people out, and now that you could have that pink cloud of people who manipulate out, you could start seeing a lot more clearer, And now that you're not speaking to them, you're like, I'm quiet. I cut you guys out. I don't need it. I'm working on myself. I'm not going to give to you anymore. I'm working on my business. I'm going to move ahead. Now they're spying on you. They want to know, why isn't she speaking to us? Why isn't she talking? What is she doing? They're all gossiping and talking crap, right? Now, how you see yourself, your personal strength and weaknesses, an individual perspective of you is justice. This is Libra. You could have Libra in your chart, but you see yourself as justice. You get what you give. And you had just some kind of you had in mind a mutual respect, like I will give as, you expect that. You get what you give, right? But you gotta, you figured out that not everybody's like that. And the people who you were working with were all about getting, and they weren't about giving. And this could have been a habit throughout your entire life. This could have been from your parents to your siblings to, your outer family to your friends groups to your jobs group, just takers. And with Aquarius, they are born with some kind of Aquarius and Scorpio, they're born with a karma within their life. And they call it the curse of the Aquarius and the Scorpio. The Scorpio would have a feeling that no matter how much they have or what they get, they'll always feel eternally empty. But with Aquarius, no matter how much they give, they'll always feel this need that they have to give and give and give. And then it's like living a life of service that they're expected to give and give and give, and they would officially be empty, they would feel empty, because it's like a karma of just constantly feeling to give. And Scorpios, no matter how much they get, so, they always feel empty, so, and Aquarius eternally feels like they're not being cared for. That's kind of I feel that with Capricorn too, on that aspect, but it sucks. I mean, you want to find a really karmic-filled relationship, get an Aquarius and a Scorpio, forget about it. That's a disaster zone on top, or an Aries and a Scorpio. Forget about it, right? But whatever, you're justice. You're screw this. I'm done. I'm giving you the same kind of courtesy that you've gave me. And, it's universe coming and setting the scales balanced, because it was unbalanced for so long. And you're I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with your titles that you put me in and the position that you expect me to be in. I'm going to be my own justice too, and I'm going to remove myself from the situation and all of the benefits that I actually gave to this situation that you felt entitled for me to give to you, It's screw it, I'm done, justice, balancing of scales. If this was a court case situation, I feel like you're definitely going to pay out. Like, you're going to get paid. I mean, you're going to get paid because shit is being found out right now. What you don't know is that things are being uncovered, or at least they will be. And I feel like it will be after the next full moon, which is anywhere, I think it's like in a week or so. But I think after the next full moon, I believe there will be, whatever is kept in the dark will be coming out into light, and it'll be found and seen. If it's like, you know, evidence, it's going to turn up, and there will be justice within your favor, and it will lead to, you know, generational wealth. It's going to lead to a payout. It's going to lead to money. Now, how the people in your environment see you, your home and surroundings, that which is outside of yourself, and how they perceive you, is the Knight of Clubs in reverse. So they think that you are impulsive. They think that you don't think before you act. They think that you're stubborn, that you have a temper, that you're mean, that you're disloyal, you know? And it's like, dude, how is that for like calling the kettle black? You're calling me disloyal? Look what all of you did in the past to me, and you're calling me disloyal. But that's how they see you, as disloyal, you know, as someone disrespectful, impulsive, who, you know, like talking all this crap about you. And I feel like they still are, you know, and that's why they act like they hate you, but then yet they're so interested in you. You know, they're so interested that they have to see what the hell you're doing all the time, right? But they see you as disloyal. Someone selfish who only cares about themselves, who is impulsive, and, you know, but whatever, it's fine. It's fine, because your hopes and fears, what they don't know is that you are focusing on yourself. You are building businesses. Like, you've never been one to, like, sit around and do nothing. Like, you're a doer, you know? You are way too smart to just, like, and resourceful to just sit around and, like, you know, wait for a handout. You create your wealth, but then they think that, oh, you just get handed stuff all the time. That's not true. You don't. That's why they think it's okay to take from you, because it's like, well, you know, she has so much that she doesn't deserve, you know, so I should get what she has. But nah, that's not the way it is, because they don't see how hard you work. They don't see how much that work and effort that you put into it while they're hanging out and freaking going to the beach and, like, you know, like ignoring all of their crap and, like, have no responsibilities. Like, you know, it doesn't work like that. Like, you put in time and effort, like, you worked nonstop, like you are the giver. You're the ultimate freaking giver. And it's like, you don't do that by, and even when it comes to ideas and communication and thoughts, like, you know, like, but then they think that you're cold and messed up when all of you ever did was give to the situation, and all they ever gave you was bullshit, was like gossiping, lies. It's frustrating. Now, your hopes and fears of attaining the goal, the lesson to be learned, blocking your development. Four of Clubs is a strong foundation. It's a strong foundation, strong roots, feeling supported in a supportive environment, in a happy home. You know, someone who works in a collaborative team, and someone who has a strong foundation that could take care of themselves and contributes to the group as a whole. Like, you only want people who is, like, equally supportive of that you would be for them around. You know, you don't want takers anymore, because what it does, it destabilizes you, and what you do, you cut it out. You know, it's like, dude, it's like you're an Aquarius. Like, Do they not know that you know how to detach when you need to? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I think they didn't really expect. They didn't expect you to detach because maybe you stuck around with this situation so long. If this is family, it's like 20, 30 years, 40 years dealing with the same bullshit, drama, gossiping, you know, starting fights, arguments, drama, all this kind of BS. And it's like you finally cut it off and they're like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it. They're not even talking to me anymore. It's like, yeah, I'm not talking to you. Why would I, you know? It's like, no, and not only am I not talking to you, I'm protecting myself against you, you know, and I'm being on the lookout for other people that come around that looks like that, and that is like you know what I mean? That is like them, I mean. So that's why they're spying. They're spying now because they're wondering why you don't talk, but that's why. You want only a supportive support system around. That's it. And if someone wants to come and destabilize your peace and home and throw you off balance on what you need to do, then you're just going to cut them out because you have a goal. And the outcome, you will, like, get the outcome that you want. This is generational wealth. This business will pay off. And although you fear it, you're not sure of what this business, this job opportunity, whatever you're working on, it's going to pay off. And don't fear it. Because it will lead to generational wealth as long as you just continue, you know? So keep to yourself. Don't give. The best that can be accomplished at the minute is to keeping to yourself and saving your money. No impulsive purchases. Start trimming the fat. If you're a business owner or you're starting a business, you got to put yourself on a budget because, you know, like for businesses, they say you lose money for the first 2 years than what you gain. So maybe you should put yourself on the budget. Look at your finances and trim the fat when you need it, where you need it, you know? That's something I got to do for myself, too, on top of it. But just stay focused, and you will as long as you stay the hell away from this bullshit. And this could be anyone, you know? I feel like this is family, friends group, you know, ex-co-workers, you know? All of them talking shit, but who cares? Who cares? Because you know what? As long as you're focused on what you need to. They want to call you impulsive and stupid, but whatever, it's fine. They could think what they want. You don't even have to, like, justify yourself to them. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Because, look, 10 of Clubs, what's underneath? You're done. You are so done. You're done carrying their burdens. These are people that constantly expected you to pick up after them, and perhaps you enable them because it was like an expectation that you were trained to do it. Perhaps if it was nasty family members, things like this, you were trained to do it, and they just expected you to keep doing it because that's what they trained you to do as a child. But you're like, you woke up and you're like, wait a second. Like, this is bullshit. Like, I see what's going on now. Like, all of you people were putting a cloud in my eyes and blocking my perception. But I see what the hell is going on now, you know? And I'm done with it. Here's your burdens. You can take that back because I'm not going to carry it no more, you know? Let me give you advice, Aquarius. Come to the edge. Breathe. Feeling anxious right now because of the unknown, but don't worry. Take a long, relaxing breath. Meditate. Go within yourself. Don't be afraid of the unknown. People see that there's a choice, or you're making a choice to deal with this or not, or you are observing what you should and shouldn't deal with. And you're making the appropriate cuts of where you need to, because you look, do you see this? Look, you're trying to observe what's worth it. You're forking a road to make a choice. This is a big life-altering decision that will alter the rest of your life and your direction. But I feel like Four of Clubs, it will lead to a stable, happy home and co-create with spirit. I feel like, you know, you are protected within this journey because it will lead you to great things. Because look. 10 of Clubs at the bottom of the deck. Your ultimate goal is not to give to it because it's too much burden. Because look, you got all of the fortune. You got the 10 of coins. You got all of the fortune. You got the generational wealth. And the only way you're going to achieve this is to not give to this situation that all it does is bring burdens. And you know it and you see it and you've done the work. You've cut it out. Just do the work into focusing on the directions that you need to, and don't let them distract you. Don't get distracted. Co-create with spirit, and you know, it's a choice between a stable, happy home or bullshit drama, you know. And I feel like, you know, focus on your happiness, those you love, you know, decluttering, cutting people, places, and things that don't serve you. Be detail-orientated. And I feel like as long as you keep the path, this is the path that was determined for you. You're co-creating with spirit, and this is your karma. This is your fated path. This is your North Node. You're going by your life path and your destiny, you know, your destiny point that was laid out by spirit. And that's why you're starting to feel more stable now. That the more and more you're cutting these people, places, and things out, you feel more stable. As long as you work towards it and you put the work in, you start to feel more stable. When you ignore it, you start to feel unbalanced. But, you know, take active progress forward. But, of course, don't overwork yourself. But protect your energy from people who just want to take. Because this is karma. Whatever is coming back towards you, if they screwed you over in the past, many different positions in your life or different titles within your life, is karmic. And, you know, it's done. 10, this is 10, unfinished symphony. But at a 10, you're done with it. I'm done with it. It's not that it's unfinished, it's done. You know what I mean? It's done. It is karmic. But I believe now it's time to enter a whole new cycle of life. And it's going to be fucking awesome. Ooh, freaking awesome. Sorry. But that's what I got for you, Aquarius. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment below. It really helps the algorithm. And feel free to donate below. Donation box below if you feel moved to do so. If not, I still love you lots, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.